Hello, and welcome to Neography A to Z. On this channel, I take a look at constructed and natural writing systems for both their functionality and their aesthetic appeal. Hannah Beachler won an Academy Award for production design on the Marvel film Black Panther. Unfortunately, it included this script. What I have to say is completely unrelated to the writing, acting, or production value of this movie, all of which I enjoyed. But as a connoisseur of writing systems, I feel as though I should at least give my views on this one aspect of what was, in fact, a great movie. The script used for the language spoken in Black Panther films is said to be based on Nsibiri symbols. The thing is, Nsibiri is used for Igbo, not Xhosa, the real world language used in the films. Igbo and Xhosa are in the same language family, but are not mutually intelligible and geographically separated by 8,500 kilometers or almost 5,300 miles. That geography is very important. Before we get into the geography of it all, we need to recognize that Igbo already has an original syllabary called Nwagueneke, developed by a native speaker. Unfortunately, it isn't really used much anymore, but that doesn't detract from its existence. Similarly, Southern Bantu languages, such as Xhosa, have been written in something called Ditema Tsa Dinoko, infrequently, but much more fittingly than with Latin transcription, which is woefully inadequate. So, the geographic dilemma. We'll forgo the direct and indirect effects geography can and does have on an actual natural language to simply say, this is a mess. Maybe not that important of one, given that this is a comic book movie adaptation, but in the sense that all realism and linguistic accuracy has been completely thrown out the window. So, you see here the actual placement of Igbo and Xhosa. Well, this image from Iron Man puts Wakanda way up here. This one from the comic book just sort of gives us a general geographic idea of what Wakanda looks like. This map puts it similar to the movie. This one puts it in a totally different location, closer to where Igbo is spoken, in northern Nigeria or southern Niger. This one puts it near Uganda. And finally, this one puts it way up near Kenya and Ethiopia. So, what we see here is complete and total disregard for any consistency. This means that the language itself could be related to any number of other languages and could use any number of scripts, including the Arabic script, which is used widely throughout Kenya and Somalia, and perhaps even the Ge'ez script used in Ethiopia. The geography issue isn't that horrible when we take into account the apparent desire for a pan-African artistic style throughout the Black Panther movies. However, it does make using a Cypher nearly inexcusable with the wide array of natural systems that were available for use. Now let's take a look at the functionality. The system used is a cipher for the Latin alphabet, identical to the one used for English, complete with upper and lower case, almost completely devoid of any sort of linguistic depth. And it also lacks creativity. This leaves the system kind of sad and almost insulting to a language with as complex a phonology as Xhosa. So, along with the geographic dilemma, we also have here the Wakanda text, but it is English, i.e., it's just encoded, it's a cipher. Then we see a sample in Wakandan, or Xhosa, but as you can see again, it's just a cipher, it's just encoded. And as far as anyone can tell, Xhosa is never encoded in the Wakandan alphabet on screen. So, why create an alphabet to transliterate English when they're speaking Xhosa? It just doesn't make any sense. Now let's take a look at the aesthetics. This review aims to put forth a critical view of using a Latin or English cipher instead of a native script, not to demean the work involved in making these movies. However, this mural is just English encoded. It serves no purpose to the larger desire for Pan-African theme or narrative. And of course, there's always the tattoos. The one on the left spells out THRIIM, which I guess is a name or maybe a reference to a character of some kind. I'm not sure. The center tattoo reads, quote, "I am a poet," and seems to glow under black light. And the tattoo on the right is just the English word unbreakable. Again, we see fandom comes with a desire to permanently mark one's body with weird symbols that only a few people know. Anyone got any nice Hanzi tattoos? Yeah, that's kind of what I see when I look at these. And of course, there's always money to be made. Amazon has a neat fake passport that you can buy, complete with the Cypher embossing. And of course, Redbubble has a nifty wall chart so you can encode any message you want to, like their sticker that reads Wakanda Forever. Etsy has a myriad of ways you can spend your money and show your support for English written with different symbols, including some fancy press on nails. It's cases such as these that I wish people would simply say that they made something they thought looked good for the project or matched the aesthetic they were hoping for, rather than loosely tying it to something so different in so many ways. The script isn't even appealing aesthetically. It's far too blockish to fit the overall style of the film. And whoever thought it needed upper and lower case letters needs to spend a day reading about how rare those are in natural writing. Nklosi, or thank you in Xhosa. I'm giving the Wakandan cipher alphabet a 3 out of 5 for functionality because even though it is a complete cipher, it just uses Latin punctuation or English punctuation rather, and a 1 out of 5 for aesthetics because, again, it doesn't even match the language that it's supposed to be being used for. I honestly wish movie makers in general would either hire actual knowledgeable linguists or language creators, or just maybe not use a language as something central to a character or a plot. Imagine an action movie that consistently defies the laws of physics. Would you watch that? Oh, never mind. The Fast and Furious is a whole franchise. Okay, so bad example. But you get the point. People want realism. They want grounded characters that live in a textured, layered world, not just a jumble of sounds and places that might superficially resemble something they think maybe they heard about once. Those are my thoughts on the Wakandan alphabet. I'm interested in hearing what you think. Is it too simplistic? Should they have gone full force with a conlang? Stay tuned for the next script review and be sure to click the bell button to be notified when the next episode is posted. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I very much appreciate your time and thank you for watching. As a note, all relevant links used in the making of this video are in the description. All information is the property of its creators and is openly available online.